students, welcome to a more interesting session of business communication skills, and the topic for today's discussion is interview skills. Now, what is the basic definition of an interview? According to definition, interview is a process wherein the interviewer tries to find out your abilities and accordingly takes the hiring decision. He asks you certain questions, you give answers to those questions, and depending on your answers, he hires you or he fires you. Two things can happen. But there are certain categories of interviews which you must keep in mind in order to succeed in any kind of interview. So we have structured and unstructured interview first of all. Now what is a structured interview? In a structured interview, what happens that certain specific questions are asked to you depending upon the resume that the interviewer is having. According to your resume that he has, he asks you your previous experiences, your educational qualifications, and whatever else you have mentioned in your resume. And depending upon that, he takes his hiring decision. Now, this is the structured interview. Another category is unstructured interview. In unstructured interview, the interviewer asks question according to his wish. Whatever he wants to ask, he asks you. And the basic process, the basic reason behind asking any kind of question is he wants to engage in lots of conversation with you. Whenever the interview is a kind of conversational interview, it is known as unstructured interview, because here the interviewer is not only interested in knowing that what you know and what education qualifications you have, but he also wants to interact with you more and more to know you more and more. And sometimes this interaction goes informal in a way. But you must keep in mind that you should not be more informal. You should not be that informal that you should disclose all the details to the interviewer which are not even required. Because by following this process of interviewing, interviewers basically try to judge that how much restraint you have in your mind while appearing for any kind of interview. How much self-control you are. So if you participate in such kind of interview in a self-controlled manner, they will definitely hire you. So this is the difference between a structured and unstructured interview. The second kind of interview is known as stress interview. What happens in a stress interview is you are willingly put in a stressful situation by the interviewer. And how this stressful situation is created? Your interviewer asks you a question, and once you start replying to that question, the interviewer starts ignoring you. He is not absolutely focusing on what you are saying. He creates an atmosphere where you think that interviewer is ignoring you and he is not concentrating on what you are saying. It creates a kind of stress in your mind which says that, okay, this interviewer is not willing to listen to me. And once you have this feeling in your mind, you start deviating from the right pattern of participating in the interview. But this is the place where you need to have a restraint. You must concentrate on your abilities. You must thoroughly participate in an interview without bothering that what the interviewer is feeling or how he is reacting. Because this is a kind of strategies followed by the interviewer. If you lose your cool, you will lose the interview, ladies and gentlemen. So be very specific in this regard. The another category of interview is panel interview. What happens in a panel interview is two or more interviewers at the same time asks lots of questions to a single interviewee, to the single candidate. In such kind of situation, different interviewers ask questions to the interviewee according to their wish. Now, what is the success criteria of becoming successful in such kind of panel interviews? The only criteria is you must concentrate on words of all the interviewers. And while answering the question, you should make eye contact with all the interviewers present in the panel. What happens in such kind of interviews? The biggest mistake that we make here is we concentrate on the person who asked the question. But this is not the right strategy of achieving success in a panel interview. The best strategy is, doesn't matter who has asked the question, you are supposed to make eye contact with everyone sitting in the panel. Once you start making eye contact with everyone sitting in the panel, it shows an impression, it creates an impression that yes, you are aware of the fact that you are not giving interview to a single person, but you are sitting in a panel. You are sitting with a group of people, and while answering any question, you must answer to all the people present in the panel. Everyone sitting in the panel should be important for you, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the basic success criteria of any kind of panel interview. Now, another category of interview is behavioral interview. What happens in behavioral interview is interviewers try to judge that what kind of behavior an interviewee exactly possesses. What is his behavioral characteristics? Now, how can we decide that what are the professional behavioral characteristics of a candidate? We can judge this thing by analyzing that what he did in his previous organization. So depending upon this philosophy, the interviewers, they ask questions related to what you exactly did in your previous organizations. They will never ask you some straightforward questions that, okay, how you feel if put in such kind of situation. What will be your strategy if we give you this kind of opportunity? No, this is a hypothetical question. Basically, they check you that what you exactly did in your last organization. So they ask questions like, okay, have you ever faced this kind of problem in your previous organization? If you say yes, okay, they will say, okay, then please tell us, how did you come out of this grim situation? How did you face this problem when you faced in your last organization? So basically, by asking such kind of questions, they exactly want to know that what strategies you followed in your last organization while facing the similar kind of problems. Because by knowing this, they will be able to understand that how sincere and how faithful you will be in this organization if faced the same problems. So these are certain categories of interview, ladies and gentlemen, which we must keep in our mind in order to succeed in any kind of interview for appearing for any kind of organization, be it retail, be it technical, be it non-technical, be it any organization. As far as technical aspects of a profession are concerned, the questions related to technical aspects can be very well answered if you are technically prepared. But these categories of interviews which I just told you, they are exactly the behavioral characteristics of yours which you must follow thoroughly while appearing for any kind of interview. So this is what I want to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope that this session of mine is as informational to you as my previous sessions. So thanks for being with me, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a lot. And for more informational videos, please subscribe to my channel ER Piyush Pandey Trainer B.Tech MBA for more relevant videos in future. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.